Yo, Tyler, how's it going?
Hey, Alex. It's going.
Also, wait, who's soccer player 68?
I am.
Well,
There you go.
that really clears up my question.
Brian Hush, everyone.
Oh, okay. Good
Junior,
to see you, Brian.
soon to be the third. If he plays his cards right.
Wait, how am I going to be the third?
If you play your cards right.
Somehow I'm going to duplicate?
Yeah.
And I don't think that's how generations work.
Okay, are we ready to get started with the podcast?
Yeah.
Aren't we waiting on one more?
No, it's just going to be the four of us today.
Oh, okay.
So let's do the introduction real quick. Hello, everyone. My name is Dan. We also have Brian Hanish, soccer player 68.
Oh, why are we using last names?
Oh, yeah. Brian H., soccer
Why are
player
we
68.
using the initials for the last names?
What's your middle initial then?
We don't need to use middle initials.
Brian J. Hanish
Just
on the
say you can just say Brian.
Look, I've only ever
Sure.
heard Brian be called Brian
Let's-
Hanish,
we
so,
should-
you know.
I feel like it's because Dan is planning on uploading this to YouTube.
To YouTube.
Yeah, so the plan is, well,
That's exciting.
let's get through the introductions, and then we'll talk about
Yeah.
recap what happened last week and talk about the future of the podcast, which I'm pretty sure we
Alex will have a vested interest in, I'm sure.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Alex J.
Yep.
Tomarelli, what's your name? Just say hi.
Hi, how's it going? I'm Alex.
And we have Tyler X.
Well,
Expert Xavier.
I mean, or you could just not say my last name. That'd be cool too.
Yeah.
I'll just censor it.
That
I'll probably take it out.
Like, let's just redo this whole intro without
That's what I
any
said.
name.
Okay, let's do the
I'm
whole
just going to
thing.
start listing off addresses, you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a story
Get
about
10
that, by the
distance.
way, but I'll tell that on the
Fair.
podcast.
And this is the Tootin in the Deep podcast.
So that's the official name now.
That's
we're
the
going with-
unofficial name.
Wait, what's the official name? I'm new
The
here.
unofficial name.
The
Oh,
other
the unofficial name?
Yeah.
Can you just say the unofficial name again? I want it to.
Yeah. Tootin in the Deep.
Tootin
It's
in
a
the Deep.
reference
Ooh.
on top of a reference.
Man, I get neither of the references.
Yeah. So to use the Rosetta Stone here, we have the original name idea being Deep Toot, being a reference from Fairly Odd Parents, and Tootin in the Deep being a play on words of that. Anyways, we have a special sponsor for today's podcast.
Oh boy.
This podcast is brought to you by Apple. No, not the technology company, but Joe's Fruit Stand, which is a quarter-mile from my house in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. Joe is offering a special deal for our listeners today. If you buy a bushel of apples, Joe will throw in a dollop of his sweet homemade caramel spread. Simply use promo code APPLE during checkout. I guess you would just say the word apple. Like, this is not online, this would be in person. Once again, Joe's Fruit Stand is located in Mount Laurel, New Jersey, right by the railroad tracks in front of the Walmart. I've never been to Joe's Fruit Stand. I do not like fruit, but Joe gave me a crisp $5 bill to relay that message to everyone.
You see, this is when we find out that Joe is actually like super racist. Which I guess
mean,
would
he
be.
runs a soup
I
fruit
guess that
stand.
would be somewhat fitting after our first, after last week's cultural appropriation talks.
Okay, so to recap for last week, Alex, what we did was
Oh,
we
God.
we decided mostly on a name. The picture isn't out yet. We also talked a lot about Mormons, and honestly, the rest is kind of a blur.
Well,
But-
we can only go up from there, so.
You'd be surprised. We can outdo ourselves.
Oh, yes, we can.
I'm confident in that.
Oh,
I mean,
boy.
for God's sake, we're already like 10 minutes into this, and we already done at least 2 introductions, so we're on great pace. One more thing I wanted to say. Oh, yeah. So we did record in multiple ways last time. We recorded through a third-party software called OBS, and we also recorded through the native Skype software recording system. And as it turns out, the Skype one was a much better quality, so we're probably going to go with the Skype recording from here on out, which doesn't affect any of you guys. It just makes just letting you guys know.
It means that I will never fulfill my dream of doing this on Discord.
I don't know. Discord has its own record stream option, then maybe.
That would be weird. But poor OBS.
Yep, I was using.
Inferior.
Yeah, OBS
So,
is.
so what's? I'm curious. I'm first time here.
Yes,
Is this
Alex,
the second
great.
podcast?
Yes,
That's
it
the
is.
second podcast.
Second
I'm-
podcast, we already have a guest.
Great.
It's
Oh, cool.
Yeah, to at least I don't know if I can speak for everyone here, but I can definitely speak for myself. The whole reason I wanted to do this podcast was because I got pretty lonely and I wanted an excuse to talk to people. So
I don't know what you're talking about, Dan. You're a pretty big fucking loser if you're lonely.
Whoa, Tyler, watch the language. This is only the second podcast. We can't be, scaring people away by fucking cursing at
True.
them, you piece of
unless,
shit.
unless they're Mormon.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, you should. I mean, I think last week I tell the story about my heated gamer moment in a Mormon household.
Please do. I don't know if you did, but
Just to quickly recap, I went to a game night at a Mormon house and
hold on.
had
First, how did you hear about this game night? And how did you hear that it was a Mormon
okay. Well,
house?
I live in Utah now.
I'm sorry.
And it's fine. It's a beautiful state, and there's a lot of Mormons here. And I was invited to a game night from one of my coworkers, and he lives with his brother, who is very Mormon, and he was a very nice person. But I said, "Oh my God," in his house, and he reminded me that this was an LDS household. Thus, I call it my heated gamer moment because it was just in "Oh my God" in exasperation as to how
That's breaking the fourth commandment. You only got 9 left.
Wow.
Yes,
Wow,
and then when I
Tyler.
told my mom about
going
the
straight to
incident,
hell for
she was like, "Well, you're not allowed to say that in our house either." And I was like, "Oh, well."
I
oh.
swear, Tyler. Sometimes hearing stories from your mom makes me think that I lived in your house because my mom is the exact same way.
Dan, does your mom not let you curse?
No, I don't let myself curse, but like so many stories that Tyler has, I'm half convinced that Tyler's mom is really my mom in disguise, or vice versa.
My favorite story, just from being at Tyler's house, is the one day we were all hanging out there. I screamed "fuck" as loud as I possibly could. Then Thomas said it under his breath, and then Tyler's mom just yelled out, "She's like, Thomas, are you cursing down there?"
Sounds about
Incredible.
right.
She knows.
good times.
She knows Thomas is just going to curse.
That's not even the first story, I'm pretty sure, with Thomas
That's
cursing.
because
Ooh.
he was quoting Dan cursing once, and then she jumped down his throat for that.
Oh
Like
my
Dan was
God,
even.
you're
I don't
right.
think Dan was even there. Thomas was just quoting him, and she. Anyway,
Incredible.
I have a grievance to air.
Okay.
Yes.
Ah, yes.
Reddit.
I'll get the poll. The aluminum poll.
I like
Festivus joke.
browsing Reddit. However, recently their desktop experience has just gotten absolutely garbage. And the latest reason for that is that if you want to use in the new Reddit redesign, they would insert like native advertising, like post like things that look like posts but are actually advertisements. They've insert that into your feed. But old Reddit didn't used to do that. And then just recently they've changed it so that old Reddit now does that. And so I'll be scrolling and then you'll see this advertisement. It's like, "You'll never believe who's in United's new advertisement." And I'm like, I don't care who's in United's old advertisement. Advertising. Get that out of my face. I just want to look at my Reddit shit.
Hey, Tyler, I have a really, really good way to fix that. You
Okay.
ready?
Okay.
I'm
It's
waiting
called-
for an extremely sarcastic remark right now.
It's going to be very I'm sure.
Damn it, now I don't want to say my remark because it was
Wait,
going
hold
to
on.
be
Let me get
sarcastic.
my sarcastic Dan shirt just for the occasion.
I'm assuming it's either going to be don't use Reddit or use Reddit on mobile.
Damn it, it was the second one.
Yeah, I actually
Please,
I do that most of the time, but there are times where I'm just at my computer and want to check Reddit.
Brian, I swear
Then
you
you-
are on par with the hashtags.
Yeah.
I'm not sure
You need one for every topic, so that way you know what we're talking about.
if there is a visual portion of this podcast, or I mean, if there are audio listeners to this podcast, they are missing out on some.
There's only audio. Actually, I'm not going to say there's audio listeners because I don't think there's listeners.
Do you know what? We're listening to this podcast, and that's what really matters, right?
That's
true.
I told my friend about it, like kind of jokingly, like, "Yeah, we recorded this podcast. I was going to listen to it," and he was like, "Oh, I'll listen to it." And I said, "It's an hour long," and he was like, "Okay, never mind."
My mom wants to listen to it, and
Oh,
I don't
I'm
know how
sorry.
to tell it's not happening.
Just
I
don't.
guess I'll tell Tyler's mom, and then they can work it out.
Ooh, that's some blackmail right there.
It's not blackmail. It's pushing my problem. It's like, you know how like
Like Misery Loves Company.
Yes, that's it.
Great plan.
Yes, foolproof.
All right, I got something for you guys. So
Okay.
the other day, this was brought to my attention that there is a gun that is being produced by this company called High Point, which is it's not really one of the better gun companies, but they produce like it's all made in America and all this stuff. But they did the first ever contest that the gun company's ever done, where they had the community name their new gun that they're going to be putting out.
Oh God.
Yes, but this is literally. I am going to purchase one of these guns just for the name, even though I know the gun's going to be shit, but I'm still going to buy it. So pretty much, they had a Twitter poll go out, and it took like 2 weeks or whatever because they had them narrowed down, whichever got the most likes, and they had a poll for you to select out of like the top 3 or 4, and the winning name is Yeet Cannon.
Oh, I was really expecting like Gunny McGunface.
Oh,
That's just like the default
was
thing to name things if you're on the internet.
that was.
You got to put an X in
I
front.
think that was one of the choices, but literally, it's the High Point YC9 or Yeet Cannon, and you can get it so it's engraved Yeet Cannon on the barrel of the pistol.
That's a lot better than I was expecting. The internet has done some horrible things, and Yeet Cannon?
I think we're missing something here. I think Brian is just trying to find an excuse to buy a gun. I want to ask the follow-up question. Brian, why do you want a gun? What are you going to do with said gun?
Oh, I don't necessarily need this gun. I need it just for the fact that it's called the Yeet Cannon.
Yeah, you're saying that now, and I believe you. But I want to know, what are you going to do with this gun?
Have it.
You can't just have a kit.
Well,
You gotta,
okay, Dan. To shed some
Look, you
light,
just-
I'm actually considering buying a gun as well, and it's because when I live. My apartment's on the ground floor, and there are times where I'm laying there alone at night, and I hear something go bump, like my water heater's kind of loud. It just makes this like clunking sound. So every once in a while, I hear like a clunk, and I think, boy, do I wish I had a gun, so that in case some crazy dude is breaking into my house, I can shoot him.
And then do you want to say, Tyler, that you shot a guy? Or you
I want
shot a guy?
to be able to say that I defended myself and not be dead.
That's not the point. The point is, do you want to say you killed someone with an AR-15, or do you want to say you blasted someone with the Yeet Cannon?
No,
And that's the
even
point I'm
better.
trying to get to with Brian.
You didn't blast them with a Yeet Cannon. You just yeeted them off the face of the earth.
I'm gonna laugh and like it's not even that powerful. It's like a 22 caliber or something. Like,
Oh, it's a 9mm.
oh well.
I mean, that'll do the job,
Exactly.
but that is
It's really just the
incredible.
fact that it's called the Yeet Cannon is by far the funniest thing in the world.
I mean, Yeet's a great word.
Yeet is a great word.
What's the
It just-
definition of Yeet?
Yeet is, it is to throw something with great force, not to be confused with Kobe, which is to throw something with great accuracy.
I see you also saw that Reddit post.
I did not, but one of my friends that I play Destiny with mentioned it when we were playing the other day. So, yes, Alex, you've been replaced. You've been replaced by 2 German guys.
Well, so it's like I'm still there.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wait, so Tyler, you're playing Destiny 2 now, right?
Yes.
Is it still a piece of shit?
No, it's arguably the best state the franchise has ever been in at this point.
That's not saying a lot still.
I mean,
When you say the franchise, you mean Destiny and not Bungie, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, we all know what the best state the franchise Bungie has ever been in.
That was a marathon.
Yeah.
Oh, what a great game. But so, any other games anyone else is playing recently? Because I got a game I'm getting back into, and it's quite fun.
Oh boy, what is it?
Breath of the Wild.
Oh.
Oh,
Yo, there's a new one coming out.
I have been considering rebuying Breath of the Wild for the Switch. I had it on the Wii U. I
It's
haven't.
it's worth it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just that Fire Emblem comes out in like a couple of weeks, so I'm probably just gonna hold out. I've got Destiny to play until then, so
I've
Look,
got to
you will
say,
always have Destiny to play.
that's true, actually.
not from a subjective standpoint, but I think from an objective standpoint, Breath of the Wild might be the best Nintendo-made game I've ever seen.
Dan, I'm pretty sure that's the definition of a subjective standpoint.
No, I mean subjectively, Smash is the best, but
No,
objectively,
No, I get what Dan is trying to say. Like,
if
just
you
in
were to make
terms
a
of
checklist,
like production quality and
Yes,
like the amount of
exactly.
fun you had,
okay.
which Dan had a very unique experience with Breath of the Wild. I'll let him tell that
no,
story.
I think you can say it better.
So Dan started jokingly saying that he would not pick up any. He was going to do a 3-heart run of Breath of the Wild.
Gross.
And through that, we learned that you can actually play that game with 3 hearts, and all enemies, their damage will cap out to 2.5 hearts of
2
damage.
and 3/4 heart.
So no matter what enemy it is, even at higher levels, they might do like 8 hearts of damage with 1 hit. But when you just have 3 hearts, I don't know if it's like a glitch that Dan encountered something, but for whatever reason, for him, it was only doing 2 3/4 hearts damage, and he basically played through the entire game like that.
So you pretty much just could only ever be hit once. If you got hit twice,
and then
you died.
Pause the game, put food in my belly, and then that's how that game works. You have infinite health essentially. And even more interesting, another tidbit we found out is I was actually the first one out of Thomas, Tyler, and myself to find the Master Sword.
Oh,
Oh,
And
really?
I got so excited. I've never been so excited in a video game, I think, as when I found the Master Sword on a 3-heart run before Tyler and Thomas were playing the game legitimately straight way through. And I get there, I'm in the Sacred Grove or whatever. I literally take an hour-long photo shoot with me and the sword.
You're right.
Cackling.
I forgot about that.
Cackling like an idiot the whole time, and Tyler and Thomas are just wondering what I'm doing. They know I'm playing the game. They know I did something. And then I go to pull out the Master Sword, only to find out that you need more than 3 hearts to actually
man.
get the Master Sword, and I was so sad.
That's so sad, Dan. Oh, real question. Why did you do a 3-heart run?
That's actually a question I do not have an answer to. I
he
remember
just
Okay.
wanted to do it.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
think it
very
was a
Dan thing to
joke.
do.
It was a joke, and then it just kept going. And it sucked.
Oh, would fall damage kill you pretty quickly? Because I just will get rinsed by like.
No, I had a ton of stamina, so like, I know
Oh, I
that's
guess
not
that makes
full,
sense.
but like, I never had a need to jump off a cliff, I guess you could say.
Fair enough. But I will say, like that point you were making earlier about it only doing 2 3/4 hearts of damage. Sounds
Yeah.
like awesome game design, really. Because, well,
I think it's
awesome
just to
game
curb the
design
game
for beginners. Normal players.
Yeah,
'Cause it's like
yeah.
one-
Sorry, go on.
No, go ahead, Tyler.
No, I was gonna say because it's like a tutorial thing. Like that on that first like area of the game, nothing's going to one hit kill you, which would be extremely unfun.
Exactly. And even if you do happen to run into something that would one-hit kill you or something random like that, it won't actually one-hit kill you. It just puts you at so little health that you'll probably be scared enough to run away.
Yeah. I had fun with the game. I never finished it. I got to Ganon. I beat the... So the another thing is, I beat the first dungeon. There's 4 dungeons in the game, and then there's Ganon. I beat the first dungeon, and then I got bored. No, I didn't get bored. I just saw on the objective list, you could always just go for, like, the objective is always defeat Calamity Ganon. And I was like, there's got to be a reason that there is still an objective marker for this. So I decided to just go to the castle, and with my 3 hearts, and at this point I had some ancient weapons, so I wasn't completely, like, toast. And I pretty much had to avoid every conflict whatsoever just to get to the final boss, which is not Calamity Ganon. First, you have to beat all of the dungeon bosses you skipped to get there. So I had to beat 3 more fake bosses before I could finally face Calamity Ganon. And when I did try and face him, I didn't know how to beat him in like the second phase fight before you go on the the horse battle, and
Whoa.
so I just gave up. And that was my experience with Breath of the Wild. Never finished the game.
Then
Yeah.
you should go back to it, play it normally, and have a great time.
I would agree. It's objectively the best Nintendo game. But again, subjectively, this is the point where this is subjective. I'm of the opinion where it is too good of a game that I can't play it. I cannot get
That
the
makes
full
no
enjoyment
sense.
of it.
I really
because
want to take a step
too
back and
good of a
unpack
game.
that sentence.
Yes.
Yeah.
What?
There's too much to do. There's too much fun to be had, and I just don't have the time to invest to give it the play that it deserves. So I can't play it.
I
So
mean-
that's why you've never played Oblivion or Skyrim.
And why I didn't finish Assassin's Creed 4.
So
Yes.
you just don't like open world games?
No, I loved GTA. GTA 5 was the perfect level of there's too much, and I was able
You
to
don't
do
have
it.
to do any of it.
Yes, exactly.
Well, you see, Dan, I'm a slightly different way. I'm a chronic game unfinisher. So I'll get a game and I'll be like, oh, this game is so good. I did this with Breath of the Wild because now I'm going back to it. I'm like, okay, I'm actually going to finish the time. Because the first time I played it, I didn't finish it. I cleared, I think, 2 dungeons. And then I was like, man, this game is so great. Oh, Smash? Okay, I'll go back to playing Smash for countless hours. And then but I've done this with so many different games. It's like, oh, this game is so fun. I'll get like halfway through, a quarter of the way through, 3/4 of the way through, and I'll just be like, I'm done. I get the game. Anymore is just
Yeah,
going to
that's
be
been my
tedious.
experience with a lot of games. I feel bad about it because I used to love video games, and now I just don't finish them. And I complain that they're too well designed. That's my problem.
The games are too well designed. I can't
Yeah.
play them.
I just need like even Minecraft anymore. It's too much, you know, and that's how you know it's getting bad.
I have not touched Minecraft in years.
It's gotten really good.
Has it?
They added a lot of updates.
Ooh. That's scary.
Yeah, I was gonna give an example, but I can't think of anything. You can do interior decorating. That's about all I've been doing with it recently.
Wait, didn't we have a Minecraft server when we started college?
Oh my god, that just
That's-
you just
oh,
reminded me
Yeah.
of the most
Right.
cancerous Alex moment I think I ever experienced with you. I just joined Briscoe's Minecraft server or whatever because all you guys were on, and all
I
I,
think I
wanted to
remember
do,
this.
Alex, was build a treehouse. That's all I wanted to do. And every time I'd climb a tree and start building, you'd burn down that tree. And then it got to the point where I found a tree that I really wanted, and I really got deep into it. You surrounded it with like a dirt or cobblestone wall and then filled it with lava. And I was so furious. You oh my god, it was like a vendetta and I didn't even do anything. I just wanted to build a tree. So then finally I decided to get back at you. And so I wound up all the dogs in that world, all like the wolves, and I stole like 64 of Josh Briscoe's bones and stuff.
Yeah,
I started feeding
remember,
them
when
to
we,
them.
remember when we weren't saying last names?
Yeah, I can just censor that.
We can edit that out in post.
I'll just give him a code name, Yash Briscoe. And then what did I do? Oh yeah. So then I gathered up all the dogs in the world. I think I had about 10, which was all the dogs in the world. And then I didn't do anything.
I feel like I punched you once and then I just got massacred.
I don't remember anything.
It was- But I will say,
I do remember that whole exchange.
Dan, that might have been your most frustrating moment in Minecraft. That might have been my most fun moment in Minecraft. I'm not gonna lie to you about that. That
I think
was
that's a net zero sum, so I think I'm okay with it.
like Minecraft. It's so great to just find creative ways to screw. Well, it's not super
Yeah.
creative, but I enjoyed it.
That's a griefing. That's when I feel like that's a thing that like I would have loved when I was like 7, and now I only
So
I
at
still
work-
love it now.
So at work today, I got into probably an hour-long argument about something I've gotten into an argument much longer than that before in high school about the statement that 0.9 repeating is equal exactly to 1.
Yes.
Oh
That-
God.
I don't know why that fact or that that like mathematical oddity causes arguments so much, but it does.
So which side do you argue for, Tyler?
Yeah, which side do you like?
It is equal to 1. You can do a proof
Good.
that shows that it's equal to 1.
Okay.
I remember I got into this argument with our friend Noah from high school, and we never saw eye to eye on it. He refused to accept it.
That was a multiple day argument.
Yes, exactly.
I remember that now.
That's not even your most famous argument with Noah. That's probably not even the top 3.
Yeah, I know. Noah and I would. I missed that part of high school.
Yeah, bring that one up to the podcast, Tyler.
First, let me finish this.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
Just because like the thing that the guy was saying was really, like, he kept going on about. He was like, his argument was that if you move you multiply it by 10, like you set this number equal to 9.999 repeating, and then you multiply it by 10. Yeah. His argument was that because the the decimal place has moved over 1, there's 1 less 9 in that than in an infinite number. And he's like, and at the end, and at the end of this infinite string, and I was like, every time I was like, you can't say at the end of an infinite string of numbers. That doesn't make sense. Like,
well, you should have told him. I think would have been infinity minus 1 is still infinity.
Yeah, that's one of the other people that was in the room kept saying that as well.
Tyler, as a math major, I'm proud of you. Thank you for fighting the good fight.
Yeah, everyone give Tyler a round of applause for correctly defending that.
And then afterwards, I was talking about how pi is my favorite number, aka 3.
Okay, you are an engineer. That's right.
Yeah, that's the engineer. Anyway, going back to the Noah argument, the most famous one that we have ever had. It went on for many days. We asked many people. The question was, would you rather have a tail or a third arm growing out of the middle of your back?
Yes.
That was shaped clearly, like it would have 2 thumbs, one on either side, so like 3 fingers in the middle, then 2 thumbs. So kind of like neutral in terms of if it's a right hand or a left hand.
That sounds just better than a hand.
Yeah, I don't know.
A hand with 2 thumbs. You mentioned the power, strength.
Oh, and of course the arm would be shaped such that you could actually pick stuff up with it. It wouldn't just be like you can't reach anything that is further than a foot. Yeah, a foot away from you or something like that. So it's just as useful as your other arms. It would if you put your arms out in front of you, it it would reach the same length.
Okay, so then what about the tail? What type of tail are we talking about here?
I think we were saying
monkey tail.
I think I was thinking monkey tail, because the other option would be like some kind of like weird like
space tail thing.
Yeah,
Space
or some kind of like weird almost like a crocodile tail or something like thick.
That have power.
That does have power, yeah. But I was saying monkey tail because it gets in the way less, and it is kind of like a hand. You could pick stuff up with it, light stuff up.
Can you? Do monkeys that have that much control over their tails?
I believe so. I might just be insane or an idiot.
I mean, I know everything in media says monkeys have that much control over our tails,
right.
But do they really?
I think monkeys are just too not smart. That's the word. To have full control over it. I think humans would utilize it better.
Sure.
More importantly, this is honestly a battle of aesthetic versus
function,
utility. Yeah.
Okay. Monkey tails are capable of grasping.
Okay.
Can they firmly grasp though?
They look. If you had a monkey tail and you wanted to firmly grasp something, you absolutely could. If you wanted to jerk yourself off with your own monkey tail, you could.
Let's
that
put this
was
to a
not
vote.
where
Then.
I was going.
Let's put this to a vote. Disregarding what you just said.
Hold on. Jerking off with a 2-thumbed hand sounds really difficult.
I mean,
honestly,
you probably just your dominant
Well-
hand you're still going to use for not just for that, for most things. So
But wait, what if you're born with your middle hand being your dominant hand?
no, I always assumed that this was a growth thing. Like you are a genie gives you the selection and you gain it.
Okay.
Okay. So is the arm like about the length of your arm normally?
No, like I was trying to explain. Like if you stick out your hands in front of you, the arm would reach that same distance.
Ooh, that's a really long arm.
Yeah, so it's long, but it's not necessarily any more or less useful in terms of reach than your other arms.
So does it have like a bend like your elbow does?
Yeah, I think we were saying it might have like multiple bends.
So probably
So it
like
looked kind of
two.
like body horror. You almost look like a Cronenberg looking kind of thing, but
So you'd have a tail with a hand at the end of it.
no. But this is coming out of your back, and it's an arm, so it's not like
I
a
see the
tail,
arm.
which is completely flexible. You know, an arm
Oh, okay.
only moves at certain points.
Okay.
Now, I will say one more point in favor of the tail is that you would not need to get it was specifically with a monkey tail. You would not need to get new clothing made for everything. Like if you have an arm coming out of your back, you'd have to get all new shirts. Like you have to like custom make shirts with a third sleeve.
Do you want, I think I'm on the tail train too.
Okay,
I
let's
believe
go
that is a
through.
different
And-
answer than you gave in high school, but I appreciate it.
Probably. Because thinking about it now, if I had a third arm, I wouldn't know what to do with it. I can barely handle two hands as it is. What would like unless I'm getting some super brain power where I can operate this third hand independently? I probably wouldn't use it much.
Yeah,
But a
like
tail?
I was thinking like, you know, you could be playing a video game and then like be eating chips. But like you said, like brain power, like
Oh, you could
because-
actually finally use the N64 controller.
Oh, there it is.
So we got 2 votes for tail. Tyler, I'm assuming you're voting for tail.
yes.
Brian,
I'd probably go tail.
Why?
I used to be a hand camp, but I think what Alex just said. What would I do with it? You know, I've come to realize that sometimes aesthetics beats utility, especially when you don't know the utility. So I would
Yeah.
also go with tail.
Wow.
Speaking of Noah, I don't want to gossip, but
Please
I
do.
hear that he is
I heard this as well.
he is no longer pursuing the cloth. He is no longer in seminary, or he graduated. He doesn't have plans on continuing.
Really?
I'm not very surprised.
Yeah, I mean I don't want to like I said I don't want to get this like too personal, but like yeah, like I was just like I remember being very surprised when he said he was going to do it in the first place.
For those
like,
of you who don't know, Noah is a friend from high school who decided to go to seminary school to become a priest. He actually is the only priest in training in the world to shake the Pope's hand, if I can recall correctly. And
There's a news article on it.
now he's just
Yeah.
someone that shook the Pope's hand.
Yes, now he's the only person to not be a priest in training to shake the Pope's hand.
I don't think that's a true statement.
No,
Yeah.
no. He's the
I
only
don't-
person who was once a priest in training who shook the Pope's hand, who is no longer
What?
in training.
Yeah, get that on a shirt.
Yeah,
It's,
so
it's a long name on the back of the shirt.
So anyway, Alex, what have you been up to? What are you up to right now?
what have
Like,
I been up
That's a
to?
good question.
Yes, in life.
My life is kind of a mess, but it's okay. I'm currently back actually in the like Pottstown, Limerick area.
Okay.
And I'm should be getting a job as a Python developer.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So
That is 3 of us that work with code.
look, it seems like it'll pay well. So
That's hey, you know what? That's what's important. And I mean, you can like your job too, but like you know who likes their job? Poor people.
I don't even think that's true.
I feel like that was grossly insensitive for some reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
What's a joke? I do enjoy my job. I'm
are you poor, Tyler?
Yeah, I was going to say, by that logic, are you a poor person?
Self-projecting here.
I mean, like I said,
Oh,
it's joke.
it
But,
joke.
Not funny.
Boo.
It was pretty fun.
It was okay.
Hey, Alex, so are you working then in the Pottstown area? Like, are you living like back home?
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
back that
cool.
way. So, kind of chill. Not very exciting.
Well, I'm just a short hour drive away, so if you
Oh,
ever need a
really?
place to stay, yeah, for the
Oh, thanks,
night,
Tim.
I'm just a short
or like
30-hour drive away. So if you ever want to come visit,
Wait, so
Yep.
Dan, that would just assume I want to go to Utah for some godforsaken reason.
I was gonna say if you ever want to come and not drink beer, this is the place for you.
Oh,
Don't no, there's a growing craft beer scene out here, so it's not that bad.
oh, good. What in the?
I was just gonna say, nothing bad ever happens in Utah.
Yep.
I feel like that's not remotely true. Well, I guess there's not enough people for something
Not-
bad to happen.
Not the point.
Well,
No.
bad
Right,
stuff
so-
does happen. Right before I moved here, there was a story about some girl. She was going to college in at Brigham Young, which is a big Mormon university, and she had a secret hobby of going on dates with older men.
When
We'll
you
just
say
leave it at-
hobby,
So she was making money, is what I'm hearing.
that's what I want to.
Maybe not, but she did enjoy these like kind of
Perks.
older, suspicious guys. And one day she went on a date, didn't tell anyone where she was going, and was never seen again. And it took a couple weeks of investigating, and it turns out some guy killed her and burned her body.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So, and then there was a big debate or discussion about like victim blaming them, because a lot of people were saying that it was her fault that it happened because it didn't. Me and my friends at work have talked about it a couple of times, just because a lot of them are no longer Mormon and tend to enjoy to talk about that culture because
The Mormon culture seems to be.
yeah, and just from the perspective of people that were raised in it and are no longer part of that. And I just find it fascinating to listen to them have that. Utah story. It's always Utah story time. But yeah, so the phrase "nothing bad ever happens in Utah" is decidedly untrue. Sorry, Drake and Josh.
Well,
Oh my
here's
god, I
childhood.
forgot that was some freaking.
How did you
Oh my
not
goodness.
know that?
No,
I also
kidding me,
entirely
Brian?
missed that reference.
I missed the reference.
Brian,
but
you've
now you
made
say
that like 10 times in the past year.
I did.
Brian just, thinks
every-
it's a good
Oh
phrase.
my god.
Every Drake and Josh quote comes down to either that or I'm not calling you a truther.
What a great quote. I missed that show so much.
Objectively, not subjectively. Objectively, it was the best Team Nick show.
Ooh.
Subjectively, Ned's
Ooh.
declassified hands down. But objectively, Drake and Josh.
I don't know. I'm trying to remember any other
You
Team
got
Nick show.
iCarly, you got all that. You have that's about it. I feel like I'm forgetting one. But
Yeah,
that's
wasn't
like
there Degrassi or something like that?
there's Degrassi, Unfabulous. Unfabulous wasn't that good.
I forgot. Was Zoe 101 Nick?
Oh, I forgot Zoe 101. I would put in my top 5, but
Come on.
Drake and Josh, not over Drake and Josh, dude.
Okay, I'd agree. Judging from that lineup, Drake and Josh, 100%.
Of the live action Nick shows, Drake and Josh was definitely there.
I will say Ned's Declassified, close second.
Yes. I know there's a petition on Netflix right now to get them to put up Drake and Josh.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's never going to happen.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I know.
You got
Netflix is actually losing money for who owns. Or are they self-owned right now? In any case, they're not making money.
Let's see.
I was actually
Reed Hastings. Oh, that's the CEO of Netflix. Yeah, so it's just Reed Hastings. So it's
Netflix
self-owned.
is its own company, but
Yes.
for some
I'm
reason,
not
for a second I thought it was
surprised.
Amazon. Then I remember they had like Prime
Amazon
Video.
Prime. Yeah.
Prime Video, which is honestly not bad.
Yeah, I've heard it's pretty good. They've got stuff, but Yeah,
so
actually, a lot
Netflix
of those not making money alongside a lot of other like big startup companies that are kind of starting to become like a bubble, like Uber and Lyft are two huge ones that are not profitable and are losing money. Those are the ones that are owned by Amazon, and one is owned by Elon Musk, I believe. I believe Lyft is Elon Musk and Uber is Amazon. In any
that
case,
sounds about right.
they're losing money, and apparently people are saying that the only way that that's going to ever change is if self-driving cars take off.
That actually is
I
a
think.
legitimate thing.
Well, yeah, that was. Have you guys seen the Uber self-driving cars?
I've heard enough about self-driving cars to know that it's definitely the future.
Well, so when I lived in Pittsburgh,
They had those there?
yeah,
Really? I did not.
there were for well, okay, for the first 2 years I was in Pittsburgh, pretty randomly and pretty very rarely, I only managed to get one once. But when you called an Uber, instead of like a normal Uber, it would be a self-driving Uber that would show up. And like you could choose to decline it and they would give you a free charge, but there were self-driving Ubers in Pittsburgh and they seemed to work reasonably well, which is honestly saying something because Pittsburgh streets are ridiculous to try to navigate.
That's
But
impressive, man.
yeah, so it was really cool, and Uber dumped so much money and research and development into making these self-driving cars and making them good and hiring so many people to do them. Like a number of the Carnegie Mellon professors, well, a handful at least, worked with Uber as well as being a professor and like helped them with the research and stuff like that. And now they're kind of just gone because there's been, I think. I can't say for sure, but there was definitely that one big incident where a self-driving car hit and killed someone,
Oh yeah.
which I'm not sure if you guys have seen the videos for that, but if I was driving, I don't think I would have been able to stop either. It was
I thought she got hit though because someone pushed her. I thought that's
It's
what
a
happened.
conspiracy.
I don't think so. That's at least that's not the video I saw. If there might have been something else that I missed, but
There might have been two separate occasions where this happened because I thought there was another one where their self-driving car hit a woman, but that one was pushed by someone else that you couldn't see, like on camera or something like that.
She was pushed by an Uber driver that doesn't want to lose their job.
No,
Yeah,
it was a
there's-
Lyft driver.
No, but really, I think the biggest issue for self-driving cars now is just getting people to trust them. Because like I don't know about you guys, like I know how bad I know that like a machine technically is going to be better at driving than a human would be. However, I don't know if I would be willing to give up the that control. Like just personally, like it would take a lot for me to get over that, like losing the ability, because like you get that same thing when you go into an airplane. You know that airplane crashes are extremely rare and are technically way safer than driving. Way more people die in driving than they do in plane crashes every year. However, it's the fact that you have absolutely no control over whether or not it crashes. It makes you feel anxious. At least that's how it is for me. So I feel like self-driving cars is a very similar issue.
well, if self-driving cars were to be commercially made, it's not as if you wouldn't have any control over them. I mean, maybe if we're talking 100 years down the line or something like that, there could be something like that. But at the moment, you still need to have a driver in the driver's seat, and you still need to have, a way you can actually operate the vehicle without the self-driving feature. And I can't see in our lifetimes that changing anytime soon. So my point is I'm not entirely sure I see where the anxiety is with self-driving cars.
I don't know. I guess it's kind of like a like you said. I didn't even know just now that like when I hear self-driving car, I think like I'm sitting in the back like drinking a milkshake and watching anime while it drives me to the grocery store. Well, you know what I mean? Like that's when I hear self-driving. So when that's what I'm thinking of. So I should have specified, but I guess you're right. That does make a little bit more sense. But then it's like the question's like, how do you know when like how much control does the person have? How much control does the car? These are things that people are going to be wondering. And
I mean, we still need to get to the point where self-driving cars, like I think we're still, unfortunately, very far away from commercial self-driving cars.
Yeah. It'll be a few, maybe 50 years, I'd say, until we reach the point where we've got cars like the bus from Transit, from Nazi zombies.
And even then, it's still a question
And we don't even know how long it's going to take for the zombies to get there.
That's true.
That's the real question.
Sometime after World War IV.
What about World War III?
We'll die in that one.
Skip over that one.
Dan, was that a reference? Is that, I think, Fairly Odd Parents?
Family Guy.
Family Guy, and it's World War V. It's so great. It skips over 3 and 4.
Yeah, that's what I was going for.
Yeah.
And you missed Utah. Shame on you.
All right. Well, I got a story because we brought up planes earlier.
Okay.
So
You were on a plane recently, weren't you, Brian?
yes. So on last Sunday and actually early today, I flew down to Orlando. Then I flew back from Orlando, and going to Orlando, we just happened to be on the flight where there was about 4 or 5 families that were all going down together. And they were all wearing the same exact shirt.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, and it gets better. And they were all flying to Orlando to then drive an hour to get on a cruise. So at first instinct, when I see all these people wearing the same exact shirt, I'm just thinking, oh God, this is going to be hell. Then when I heard they were getting on a cruise, I was thinking, thank God I won't see them anywhere in any park at this time, because they will be in some body of water away from me.
Wait, so go ahead.
Okay.
Finish your story. I have some questions, but they can come after.
So we board the plane. Everything's okay, and so we taxi out onto the runway. Right before we're about to take off, one of the dads who was sitting in the row next to mine, he was sitting in the middle seat. So it's, he's got 3 seats on each side, right? So he was sitting in the middle seat on the left side of the plane. He gets up to go use the bathroom, and one of the stewardesses gets on like the intercom saying, "We cannot move the plane until everyone is seated. Please sit back down." And another stewardess who was sitting nearby literally just stands up and just like, "Sit down, sit down." The guy turns around and looks all confused, just like, "Who, me?" She's like, everyone on the plane's just like, Jesus Christ. Yeah.
That kind of. Sorry, no, go on.
All right, so that's only the start of the story. So he finally sits down. We finally take off. We're up in the air. Now, throughout the flight, that man and their 3 children, who just happened to be sitting in the 3 seats behind mine, proceeded to use the bathroom about 4 times each.
How old were these children?
I don't know, like 10 or younger. They spent the entire time on their iPads or whatever, just playing games.
And using the bathroom.
Yeah, and using the bathroom. Actually, that reminds me. So to even start off, the 3 kids were in 3 completely different seats earlier, but when people were boarding the plane, those 3 kids were in their seats. So it's sort of just like, okay, you need to move your kids to their actual assigned seats. And the mom's just like, well, we can't have, they're all split up in seats and we need to have them all sit together.
Oh, I hate people like that.
If you need them to sit together, you should have bought your tickets so they were all sitting together and not spread throughout the plane. Yes, that's, like common sense.
Just about every airline lets you, buy a ticket and pick the seat when you buy the ticket. If I think it might be, a couple bucks more, or you have to do it early enough. But don't just assume that if you didn't buy the specific seat, you can sit wherever you want. That's ridiculous.
So that was also in the beginning of the flight. Now, as we're still going, as the kids keep proceeding to get up to go to the bathroom, they're using my seat and my sister's seats who were sitting next to me. They were literally just either having their arms across the headrest so their elbows were into the back of our head, or using the seats in order to pull themselves out of their own seats in order to get up to use the bathroom. Now, this was a 2-hour flight, and for having this go on every 15 minutes it was just a great experience. And
Yes, I can imagine.
literally, my brother summarized them perfectly in 2 words, just as being crotch goblins. and and literally, we were put up with it for a good deal of the flight. And by the time we finally made it to Orlando, we finally landed. We had to wait before we got to our gate because there was still a plane in it. So we had to wait until they moved that plane out of our way so we could actually get there. So we're just chilling on the tarmac, and the kids were on the ground. Oh no, they're antsy. They need to use the bathroom, but we can't move the plane unless everyone's seated and buckled in.
Oh no, it came full circle.
But this is what gets even better. So the mom stands up and goes to the bathroom. So we're all just like, what the fuck? She comes back, sits back down. Then the dad has to go to the bathroom. He stands up. The stewardess gets on the intercom. We cannot move the plane unless everyone is seated and buckled. By federal law, you must be seated and buckled when the plane is in motion at all times.
Yeah, but federal law doesn't apply to them because, they're going on a cruise, obviously.
Of course.
Yeah, international waters.
Yeah. So
It starts when you book the cruise.
Literally, the dad sits back down just like, if anyone else did that, they wouldn't have made a noise. And we're all just sitting there just like, shut up. Then we're still sitting there waiting for them to move the plane. Maybe 5 minutes pass. And one of the kids is just like, I need to use the bathroom. So mom's just like, all right, just go real quick. The only one of you can go because they'll catch you. As soon as one of the kids makes a movement, the stewardess is already on the intercom saying, sit down. We can't move the plane unless everyone's seated. And everyone in the surrounding area is just like, oh my God.
This family needs to invest in a bottle or something. Jeez.
Seriously. It reached the point where the mom was just sitting there, just talking to her husband, just like, if we better get into the airport pretty soon, or else I'm going to start arguing with people. And all of us are just like, lady, if you say one word, you already lost the argument. And
how can people have that much pee? I don't get it.
I do not understand. I don't even think they got any drinks from the drink cart either. I don't know. But
what were they doing in that bathroom?
I don't know.
If they just weren't going to the bathroom, they were just checking to make sure each time, and they didn't have to go. And then once you're down the tarmac, that's when it was like, oh, and now I actually have to go.
I believe that. It, literally, the mom, who was a behemoth of a woman, literally.
Great description. Got a perfect mental image.
Yes, a behemoth of a woman.
Not that I wanted it, but
I can quote this because we had a long discussion after we got to our hotel later that night after shenanigans of the day, just talking about the flavors. Just like the behemoth of a woman with a turtle ass head and Lego hair was the mother of the.
Oh, that's even better.
Lego hair. I want to see that.
Literally, picture the classic brown Lego hair, the short cut that just kind of goes around almost like a bowl cut.
Yeah.
Put on your Lego guy. You can pop it off and put it on anyone else. Literally, that was her haircut.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so my question from earlier.
Okay.
You said they were all wearing matching shirts, right?
Yes, it was a light blue shirt with all the family names on the back of it, and just like we're going on some cruise on the front.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
That was my question.
Yes, it was. Oh my God. As soon as you see it, you would feel yourself want to vomit because you're just like, oh God, it's a family trip. Oh God, there are 7 families.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? My family has one of those shirts, literally light blue and everything. But the trip it was for, we never went on it. Something happened that only one part of the family went on it. That the family part of the family that made the shirts, So they just made the shirt spray one and gave it out, and we've never worn them since. It's probably the best experience with the shared shirt experience.
This story reminded me of a couple of things. Have any of you guys seen it's like a viral video just like very recently, like just today, of the short dude like causing a like basically like having a temper tantrum in a bagel shop?
Yes.
I have not,
Oh,
but I kind of want to now. Dan, you got this in post for all our listeners on YouTube?
Yeah, I'll do that.
It's literally this
It's
short guy ranting about women.
Yeah, he goes on like a misogynistic rant, but like it's so funny because like at first you don't see anyone else in the frame, and he looks like you're like, oh, he's just like a normal looking person, I guess. And then you see him like walk up to someone, and then like his like face comes up to the dude's belly button, and you're like, oh my god. And it's not like he's not like, you know, like it's not like a he's not a little person, but like he's just like short.
Yep.
And
So
then
here's the. Go ahead. Sorry.
oh no, do you have the video?
I don't have. Oh, I was gonna do that in post. I mean, I can't show it to like Alex on my,
I mean, you could link it in the chat.
Here, I got it.
Thank you,
Let's
Brian.
see if it'll paste.
Yeah, that'd probably be the best way to do it.
I think that's it.
Short man rage at bagel shop.
Oh no, that's the Penguin Zero. That's the Charlie video about it, which he plays it, but he also talks over it.
Okay.
He paused it a couple times. I the only reason I know is because I watched it when I got home. I watched his video on it.
I really just want to see how short this man is.
Here, I found another link.
Oh, he looks so angry. Wait, so Tyler, what did you want to say about this video?
Oh, it just reminded me of it because it just reminded me of it just because like I think it was when he was saying like if anyone else would have gotten up they wouldn't have said anything, but because it was me and like he started getting annoyed. That's what reminded me of it, was just like someone like just like throwing a temper tantrum in public for no reason. Plus it's just a talking point.
Yes.
I've got a question. Back to Brian's. If we're done about the little person, I was going to change subject to the plane story.
Okay. I'm all for planes. Do you know what's great? You can probably get a bagel on a plane, and you can probably have a small misogynistic man yell at you on a plane as well.
Yeah, I'm not looking for a massage on a plane. But anyways, the question I had was for Brian. The people, plane story. Airplane the movie. Go watch it. This podcast is sponsored by Airplane. Anyways.
Motherfucking snakes on my motherfucking... I haven't seen the movie, but...
Me neither.
That's snakes on a plane.
Kids these days, you see it in every form of media, every visual. If there is a plane scene in literally anything, there is always an annoying kid kicking on the back of the seat. I have believed for the longest time that this is a myth. It sounds, based on Brian's story, that they have evolved, maybe not from kicking the backs of seats, but in the very least to still be annoying to the people in front of them. And I'm actually amazed that that's actually a stereotype.
So there's always being a kid taking the back of the seat on a plane. That's more of a myth. The true thing is that there's always, no matter where you're flying, there's always a crying baby on your plane.
Oh, okay.
That is, I have never not been on a plane where there is not a crying baby.
So, it does seem like a myth, but my aunt was recently on a plane.
Yes.
With her...
Don't tell me she was kicked.
2 daughters. She was not kicked.
She was kicking?
No.
She was helping the daughters kick?
Yes. Her daughters are, 12 and 14? But there was a crying baby on her flight. It was like a 3-hour flight, and the baby cried the entire time, according to them. And... I know a baby cry being like, yeah, it's pretty annoying, and like mother's trying to comfort it, This baby was crying the entire time. Mother was trying to comfort it, and just nothing worked. And like every time it died down a little bit, it would be like, okay, finally we can get some nice peace. It would just start back up louder again, and that sounds like a personal hell.
I just remembered to prove that even further. back in high school on a marching band trip. Like we had a big trip to Disney because we were going to go perform in a parade there, and we had literally bought every single seat in one airplane and half the seats in another airplane. And I was on the one airplane that we had every single seat, and somehow there was a crying baby on the plane. Well, we had every single seat full with a band kid. How the hell did a baby get on the plane?
What?
You tell us.
I don't know. We literally, half of us were sitting there, just like, we hear this baby. No one was pregnant, at least at the start of it.
These are all Springford kids, right?
Yes.
Okay, now let's try and figure out who was it.
Well, let's think. On the trip, there was band, choir, and maybe orchestra. I don't know. I never paid attention to orchestra.
Oh, easily choir.
And according to the rules of Mean Girls, the band is always sexually active.
That seems true, at least based on the stories I've heard.
So it literally could have been anyone.
Look, just use the condom.
Yeah, just
And with that, we have hit the hour mark. So I'm not sure if we want to keep going or if we want to start.
I was just gonna give my advice, which is be a fucking loser and never have sex.
Abstinence is the way to go sometimes.
Thanks for that, Tyler.
Wise
Personal
experience.
When in doubt, use the big A.
Oh.
Anal.
Always ask first.
Before anal, or maybe not.
Look,
Sometimes you can just scream surprise butt sex, and then there's your warning.
the warning is not asking. That's not how consent works.
Yeah, that's going to wrap it up for this podcast, I think. We're going to have the post show, of course, which will not be aired at all and probably won't have most of us, if any of us. Thank you for coming on the show, Alex.
Is it even a post
Thanks
show?
for having me, Dan. I'm glad I got to be on this very renowned podcast.
I want to go renowned.
Very
Well
established.
renowned.
Not very established podcast.
Yeah.
And I kind of hope you'll have me back again sometime.
Oh, yeah, for sure. That is not sarcasm.
Now I think it was sarcasm.
No, I'm never sarcastic. Ever.
Dan, you have a shirt that says sarcasm on it.
Okay. I have a story about that, actually. But that'll be probably for next week. I've got very big plans coming up with my YouTube channel. For those of you listening on the podcast, please subscribe to Wheezy. Google Living with Myself Wheezy because there's too many Wheezys out there. It's WEEZY space Living with Myself.
Why would they have to Google or look you up on YouTube if they're watching this?
Yeah, isn't this coming out
Yeah.
on YouTube?
This would probably be its own YouTube channel.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, I never said. I'm planning on releasing this to YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts.
Oh,
Sounds
nice.
good to me.
Yes, but the catch is I can't release to Spotify or Apple Podcasts until you have at least like 5 or 6 recorded things. So it'll be about at least a month before I start actually releasing these.
Well, 1 month from now, I hope to see you all on Spotify. It'll be great.
Yep, look it up.
Yeah, tell your
Tootin in the
friends.
Deep.
Yep,
Is that going to be the name?
we're working on it. It's a reference on top of a reference. That's like the biggest thing going against it. At the same time, what has going for it is we spent all of the last podcast episode deciding on a name, and that's what we chose.
That's true.
Wow.
So it's still the unofficial name right now.
I feel like
the
we might-
rebranding.
Yeah.
We might need a follow-up episode where we decide on the name some more.
Well, season 1 is just deciding on the name.
Well, it's been fun.
Yep. Tune in next week, next Friday, 9 p.m. Not you, Alex,
Oh,
but everyone else. Be there or be square. And yeah, that's going to wrap it up.
cut.
Bye.
Bye.
Sayonara.
Adios.